If you had a disordered and chaotic, unstable childhood, then you probably have a chronic urge to keep things clean. Probably a clean freak. You like to keep things tidy and orderly. And actually, that's a way of expressing, it's a way of healing, I think. As long as you're not, like obsessive about it, but keeping a clean and orderly environment gives you a sense of control, gives you a sense of peace, definitely gives you a sense of stability, and you're wanting to bring that in for your kids. And it also gives you the feeling that you are in control and things in your life are not like all uncontrolled and chaotic and crazy. And this is why it's so important for your home and your space, because there are so many things outside of our control. The world, the environment, everything is chaotic, and it seems like nothing makes sense in what's happening. And so if you can really get your home in order, it's going to give you not just a sense of peace, but it's going to give you a space where you can then focus on other things, other tasks. You have to start somewhere, and starting in the home is always the most important thing. This is a process of letting go of what no longer serves you, letting go of what you're not using, letting go of the spaces that are causing anxiety and anxiousness and frustration, and it just doesn't feel good. And I got to take care of this, but I'm so overloaded, I'm so overwhelmed, there's so many things I got to take care of. And start in your home. Put a weekend aside and tell people, no, I can't, I'm not going there today. I'm not doing this right now. I'm not answering the phone. I've got a job to do. And be like a gazelle, like be all over it. And when you are focused with intention and you have that focus, like you are getting this done. Don't let other things come in and get in the way of that, and let other people's problems and drama. Put a pause on everything and focus on the task at hand. And you'll be surprised, after 2 or 3 days, you're going to feel emotional baggage lifted from you. You're going to feel the weight of stuff. You're going to feel clearer in your mind, a lot less suffocated. You're just going to feel so good when you start being really intentional with attacking these things. Like, be on the offense, not on the defense. Don't complain about it, whine about it. Get it done and get it handled. This process is about you. It's about your family. But if you're the man of the house or the woman of the house, chances most of you are women, but even some men, like, don't wait for the other person to do it. And if you're seeing that there's an issue and this needs to be dealt with, and you know that it's going to benefit everybody else in the home, and they're going to feel more at peace and they're going to feel better, then just get it done and say, this is happening, we're doing this, we're not going to live this way anymore, we're not going to tolerate this anymore. Because at some point you have to ask yourself, how long am I going to tolerate this? How long am I going to let this control me? How long am I going to have bathroom drawers that are full of old hairs and crust and disgusting things and old makeup that's expired, you've had for years, that you need to throw away? Your mascara that you keep using is giving you a big old sty on your eye because it's dirty and it's old. Throw it away. Or you're using makeup that was expensive 5 years ago, and you're, like eyeshadow. Oh, I can't get through this eyeshadow. It's been 10 years. Get rid of it. If you don't use it, it's old, and it builds up bacteria in it. Old lipsticks, like all of these things are taking up space, mental space in your house. And streamline it down to what products you really like, what you use, what's helping you, what's more beneficial. You will end up using the nicer things. It's like when I got rid of all of the clothes that I didn't like, I ended up wearing the clothes that I liked. It's like the clothes that you're saving for a special time, you don't wear because you're too busy wearing the clothes that you have to wear out first. And then that special time never comes and those clothes sit in your closet. And it's such a shame, because we should are wanting to be our best every single day, like leveling up our life in all areas. And it takes time, but there's days, like now I'm trying to be a little bit more mindful about doing my hair every day, because it's so much easier to clip it back up. The days that I'm working out or I'm doing busy work and I'm outside in the heat, I'm going to clip it up. But if I'm not going to, I take the extra time now and I do my hair, wash it and curl it and make it look pretty, put on a little bit of makeup and just present myself better, so I'm not walking around looking like a slob all the time. It's just shifting things around to simplify. I call it cutting the fat in your life. You're cutting out the drama. You're cutting out the being involved in other people's problems. You're cutting out the nonsense. You're cutting out, decorating for Halloween, spending all that time and money on bringing all that into your home. Like, you're cutting out the things that don't matter so you can then concentrate on what matters. And you'll find that you'll have much more time to do all of the things that you really want to do when you cut out these things of lower value and you get your home in order and you get your life in order. So you have to declutter your life. You have to start with your home. You have to start somewhere. Start with the closet. Start with the clothes that you don't wear. Start with the clothes that they just don't make you feel good, or they're too tight or too big. Don't wait for a time. Either decide, is this coming with me to the future, or can I let it go? And start giving yourself a little bit of breathing room and giving your family and your life some breathing room. Take that time to do it without feeling guilty. And then just pause on being involved in other people's problems. When people make their problems your problems all the time, it's so annoying, like over and over and over and over, and the thing is, they don't want to change, but they want to tell you about all of the problems. I mean, I know people who are going through the same problems. They have marriage problems, every marriage that they have, there's a problem there. So why, for you to be a sounding board for that person to unload on, that's shame on them for unloading on you over and over and like dumping that on you to carry. You're absorbing it then into your subconscious, and then you're absorbing it into your nervous system. Put up boundaries and don't ask for permission. Don't feel 1 ounce of guilt. That's manipulation. When they're making you feel guilty for you putting up boundaries in your life to not only protect your peace, but to then steward what God gave you. Not everybody's your assignment. We make it we bring it on ourselves to say, well, this person, I got to help this person. I got to help those. There's specific assignments that God has for you, and there's things that you bring in, and then there's no grace on those assignments that you bring in for yourself to handle or to do. Those relationships, those toxic, friendships, those are not, you understand what I'm saying? Like, when there's an assignment from God with a person, he wants you to help somebody minister, there'll be grace on that. You will be able to help that person because God's hand is on it. But when you yourself are saying, well, I'm going to go do this, I'm going to go help this person, they're going to listen to me, or I'm just going to be involved because I don't want them to be mad at me. I want to stay friends with them. A lot of times it's because we don't want them to be mad at us. We don't want them to not like us. I don't want to hurt their feelings. Well, too bad. Like, let's get over that. I had to do that, and I took a lot of heat for it, but oh well. I have things to do, and really, somebody else, you're sacrificing that time with somebody else for that other person. For example, you might be spending all your time gossiping and chit-chatting with a friend that you've known since high school. We've been friends since high school. While you're a kid, you spend no time with your child. Okay, so who's suffering? Somebody is being like, there's a sacrifice there with your time. Well, is that friend that you keep chatting with and talking about, and you're listening to their problems, and maybe it's a family member, and you're just, over and over and over. Is it helping? Are they different? Because it doesn't take years to change. Once you make a decision to change, yes, there's going to be a time period between, let's say you make a decision to start eating healthy. Well, the next day, you're not going to look like you're eating healthy. You may stumble and fall back a little bit, but over time, there will be the fruits of that change in that person. You will notice a difference in their fruits, in their body, in their look, in their activities, and how they live and how they speak. And you will know, okay, there's a shift happening here. But if it's the same thing over and over and over, and there's no change, get out of that. You're not helping them anyways. All you're doing is beating yourself up because it's sucking the energy from you. You think you're winning or you're helping somebody, and you're not. Meanwhile, your kid is dealing with their own issues or their own stuff, or your spouse, that's waiting for you to come give them attention. Give me attention. What about me? You're so busy in all these other things. And I understand there's busy seasons in life that, there's times where my husband and I'm like, hey, this is a time where we're just high-fiving each other during the middle of the day. You do, we're dividing and conquering. You do what you got to do and I do what I got to do. This is 90-day push season. And you both have to be on the same page with that and say, we're both going towards the same goal, but we're doing it in our own different ways. And then, you meet up, and if you have a strong marriage, you don't need that reassurance every day of like, why aren't you talking to me? Why aren't you, hey, we got stuff to do. I'm not here to coddle you. We got work to do. You're doing yours, I'm doing mine, so we can all have freedom for our family, or so we can have the breakthrough that we're praying for breakthrough. Well, you got to do the work towards the breakthrough. You can't just pray for breakthrough and not do anything about it. So at some point, you just stop making it about yourself and make it about the whole family unit, what's best for everybody. And that means you can't spread yourself so thin that you are involved in all of these other different areas and problems and, whining, complaining, oh, listen to me and tell me about my problems. I've done that. I will admit, like, I went through a very difficult period in time where I talked about it all the time. It was so in the forefront that I couldn't think or talk about anything else. I thought, how could I help somebody when I'm going through this? So I was just unloading, and then I realized, what am I doing? I'm unloading all these people. Nobody's going to want to be around me because I'm telling them all my problems all the time because I'm in the middle of it. And some people judge me for it. Some people didn't want to be around me for it, and I understand 100% completely. If I was just to wait on God, he would have brought me the right person to give me the right words during that time instead of me just telling everybody, or he just maybe wanted me to come to him and I didn't. And so we've all done that, but you have to recognize that behavior and get yourself out of it. If you're the one doing it, if you're the one continuing to do it to everybody else, like, stop. Nobody wants to hear the whiny story over and over and over about problems that you continue to indulge in, things that you continue to create, and then you become a victim in it because you don't want to change. And then you point the finger and you blame, and it becomes everybody else. Stop doing that. Take ownership. If you're doing it, undo it. Stop doing it. And I'm not saying it's easy. It's hard. But once you make a decision, you're like, I am not tolerating this anymore. I'm disgusted with this. I don't want the results of this behavior. I don't want this, whatever it is. Shift into doing the opposite, like shift into, okay, now what? And go all in. And if there's somebody, in your circle or around you who maybe isn't on board and they want to pull you back, put the brakes on and say, hey, I can't hang out with you during this season of my life because it's not aligning up with my plan and vision for where I'm heading, and I need to back up. Like, for example, you don't want to drink. You're like, hey, I'm stopping drinking. You're not going to go hang out with the same friends who you go socialize and drink with. You're going to pause that until you're strong enough to be around them without drinking. Because if you do, you're going to end up drinking, and it's going to sabotage what you're trying to do, your goals, the progress that you're trying to create. So if you want progress, it's so much easier to go all in for short periods of time and to just move on, pass that test, to get it done. Like, be so focused during that time and get it done and cut the fat. Clean up the home, clean up the surroundings. You're not going to have a peaceful life all the time because there's going to be things that happen, but you can handle the majority of it if you cut out the rest. The things of lower value, I call it, like all the nuisance, the unnecessary things that pull you in a bunch of different directions and just keep you distracted. The devil wants you distracted. He wants you so distracted and so discouraged and so tired and so beat up and so exhausted, so inflamed. He wants that. So you can't run your race. You're tripping. You're stumbling. You can't even get up. You're so tired. You're doing too many things. Because it keeps you from God's best. It keeps you from the purpose and the goal and everything. And it makes it a lot harder to get there. So if he can bring all these distractions, do this, talk to this person, waste time here, decorate for Halloween, that's a great idea, get Netflix, put your kid in front of the TV watching Demon Slayer or whatever, Demon Hunters. Well, you gossip on the phone with your so-and-so who's not changing anyways. Do that. Like, he's going to try to do all of these different things that are not making any difference. It's all keeping you in bondage, and it's keeping you distracted, and it's keeping you from your goals. And then you're tired, you're beat up, you're, emotionally drained. You can't sleep. Your body's responding to all of the stress. You have to be the one to change. You're not going to change everybody around you. You have to be the one to change, and then things will shift accordingly once you change. It's like that ripple effect. You have to be the one to change. Whether that's saying, I'm not tolerating this anymore, I'm going to deal with this clutter, I'm going to deal with these habits, I'm going to deal with these outstanding bills, I'm going to deal with this fat body, I'm going to deal with these eating habits, I'm going to deal with this gossipy mouth, I'm going to deal with these toxic relationships that I keep being involved in, I'm going to deal with the drinking. You have to deal with it and get it off the table, and then be done with it, and then move on. Keep running your race. Don't let any of those things, if you stumble, just keep going. You're going to stumble on your way to getting to your goal, to success. The stumble, oh well, just keep going, just keep moving. Don't give up, keep going. Eventually, you'll see the progress. All right, my arm's tired. So anyways, hot out here. Keep going, keep running your race.